Uh, I'm getting ready to play the PTQ. Haven't had a lot of sleep, so I'm gonna stick with old reliables so that I can sort of fall back on my experience. Hopefully, cat came here. So I'm playing Karn Amulet today. Um, Thought I might take a little bit of time to talk about some of the different card choices that I've made in this list. So I'm on one Castle Garenbrig. I think it's really hard. I mean, we're at 32 lands, so there's a lot of lands in the deck. I think if I was gonna put in a second Castle Garenbrig, the lands that you would have to cut would have to be either Cavern of Souls. Maybe you could cut a fetch. You could cut Crumbling Vestige, or you could cut second Valakut. But I think second Cavern and third Cavern in the board just really helps the blue-white matchup, which is just all over the place right now. I think there's a lot of value to second Valakut. I think there's a lot of lines where you want a second Valakut for, like, I don't know, play a Titan, attack with the Titan, search up two Valakuts with Slayer Stronghold is exactly 20 damage, for example. Also, it just makes Dryads into better threats. There's a lot of games where you don't have Titan or Karn where Dryad ends up being the threat to win the game. And, just attacking on multiple angles is one of the strengths of this list. Crumbling Vestige, I think, is really good. Especially like with Dryad, one of the things you can do is if you have Dryad in play, you can get Crumbling Vestige to activate Slayer's Stronghold. So, like, let's say you have two lands in play with a Dryad in play. When you play Titan, you can get Crumbling Vestige, Slayer's Stronghold, attack, and then get two more lands, like two Valakuts, for example. To get the triggers, which you wouldn't be able to do with Boros Garrison because Boros Garrison puts something in hand. It's also sort of like an untapped source that's also sort of a pseudo bounce land with Amulet, making 2 mana. There's a lot of situations where Primeval Titan will grab Crumbling Vestige when you don't have an Amulet to just make an extra mana. Say you naturally drew a Slayer Stronghold, sometimes it can give you haste, or if you've searched up a Slayer Stronghold on a previous Titan. Or just sometimes, you need an extra blocker like a Grazer or something, and it just provides you with that 1 extra mana. It also makes, like, Sunhome a lot less awkward. Like, you can search up things like Sunhome Valakut in some weird situations, or, like, search up Sunhome with only having 1 red or 1 white source in play, and so Crumbling Vestige, good in those scenarios. So it just comes down to fetch, and I think having an untapped source that can be a forest for Blood Moon and fetches to do things with Valakut is probably better than the second Castle Garenbrig. Though Castle is great. It's good to have. I mean, you definitely want at least one Castle Garenbrig, because sometimes you want an expedition map for Castle Garenbrig for your 5th land, or your final mana for the Titan. So it definitely deserves a place in the list, but I think I'm sticking with 2. I've had some people ask me about the Gruul Turf Celestia Sanctuary split. I should probably be on 3 sanctuaries, but my reasoning was generally, like, it makes it easier to do the sort of absolute wild combo draws when you have 2 Celestia Sanctuary, 2 Gruul Turf. Like, you're less likely to not have the thing you need for I'll keep this for, like, a very wild combo turn. And if you're just trying to, like, randomly activate Sunhomes and things like on creatures, you're gonna have Dryad in play most of the time, so it's not gonna matter. I'm gonna lead on map because I don't think I can afford to have it discarded. this is a discard deck. That may be wrong, though. It's very possible I'm just supposed to play like 3 Sanctuary, 1 Turf. There's also like the thing of like when you have, it's sort of like with the snow-covered forest, regular forest. Some people would play 1 snow-covered forest with 3 regular forests back when Field of the Dead was legal, and the thought process being, okay, I'm just getting a Grazer here. So here's a situation where I'm gonna probably map for Castle Garenbrig, play it tapped so that I can set up the Titan for next turn. But like if white sources are less prevalent than red sources, then like grabbing Celestia Sanctuary, you're more likely off the top of your deck to get a red source to match up. So like if you're wanting to grab a land that is a green source and like 1 combo colored source, like it's always good to grab Celestia Sanctuary. That's interesting. So I'm still just going to grab Castle here. If the Amulet gets removed, that's fine. I'm not going to block with the Grazer. I think there's value in having a Grazer on the battlefield for things like if this game ever gets to a point with Karn in play. Also, yeah, I was going to say not putting creature in yard, but there's already a creature in the yard. So we are threatening to attack for 16 next turn. I assume our opponent is going to have something here. Probably worst case scenario is like they Kolaghan's command the Amulet now, and we have to discard the Pact to guarantee the Titan, and then if they like answer the Titan, we're in a bit of a tight spot. But even in a situation like that, I think the Titan probably just grabs double Saga, and that should give us enough of a board presence that we should be able to survive till another threat. This is one of the things I was saying, like, with Vestige, is, like, this is a situation where, like, there's, like, a temptation to grab a red source, except we have Vestige, which means we can always Vesuva on Vestige to double strike if they look like they're interested in blocking. Which it's kind of starting to feel like our opponent is just planning on blocking here, which which, yeah, so Vesuva Crumbling Vestige to be able to double strike is going to be quite nice. And we'll have enough mana to make a token, too, so... Unholy Heat? Okay, so they're just hoping the Surveil hits. And it does. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Okay, so they're Unholy Heating the Grazer to try and get through damage, which makes sense. So Growth Chamber is not a bad draw because it means we are going to be able to Titan next turn. Thanks to... oh, no, we don't have Expedition Map. So... Well, at least Growth Chamber means if we draw Talaria West, we can Titan. Yeah, it is unfortunate that map is already out. And obviously gonna create a chump blocker here. Hopefully these chump blockers that we can make keep us alive long enough to draw either Titan or Karn or Talaria West. Even Dryad is probably enough just because of these lands that we have. So opponent has Luris in hand, but they don't have anything really for the Luris. I don't think I'm blocking Channeler this turn with Grazer. Dryad's a good draw. Wish I still had a bounce land in hand. Okay, let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I cannot haste and double strike. So I suppose I'm just double striking to kill the Goyf. Because if I double strike one that's not blocked by the Goyf, I deal 15, they gain 8. Man, this Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear is making things tricky. Next turn they're going to Luris, probably bring back the Goyf, but if they do that, they can't equip Shadow Spear. Okay, so we gotta dodge a burn spell this turn. Kolaghan's Command will kill us. Pirate Spellbomb, that'll also do. Okay. I like Bajuka Bog. I don't think I'm on Endurance for this matchup. I also don't think I'm on Force of Vigor. I know they're a Saga deck, but I feel like I win by doing my thing. I don't win by interacting with them. Bajuka Bog's like a lower opportunity cost. Shadow Spear, huh? Shadow Spear got me. I'll keep this. I'm a little soft to Alpine Moon, but I mean that's just generally true when playing Urza Saga. What am I doing here? think just Vesuva on Blood Crypt and pass. Alternatively, I could just like bounce land Construct, but then I'm just like super soft to like answers on the Amulet. Then again, it does keep them off of Kulligan's command. Yeah, maybe this is wrong, but I think I'm just going to make myself a Construct here. Just to... because I think the biggest blowout for us is them just attacking and Kulligan's commanding. Other than Alpine Moon, but I think if they had Moon, they would have just played it last turn. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe they would hold an Alpine Moon for, like Ragavan is just such a good turn 1 play. Yeah, this is fine. Doomblade, going old school with the removal. It makes sense, like, kills Murktide. Completely respectable Magic card. I'm not playing the Explorer because I don't want to accidentally draw another one of my combo lands. I'm okay with being... I mean, I guess they can't even Slaughter Pact us because they have 2 lands in play. But I was gonna say, like, if they have Slaughter Pact and they get us that way, that's good for them. Yeah, I think I liked this configuration. I could do one less Saga. I don't think I want Dismember for Ragavan, even on the draw. I mean, the thing with Ragavan in this matchup is, okay, A, we have Grazer, and, like, B, like, it just makes treasures, which is good. Like, don't get me wrong, like, turn 1 Ragavan is the best play they can have. But, like, once the game gets to a point where they've emptied their hand, it's not like drawing them cards like it would in another match. Like, unless they get up to, like, 1,000,000 mana and actually get to cast a Primeval Titan. But, like, when the game gets to that point, it's probably a game we've lost anyway. If we've been hit by a Ragavan enough times that they're casting a Primeval Titan, like, the game has progressed to a point where we were not winning. Really like to see a bounce land. Breeding Pool out of the deck, so it can't be fetched anymore. I'm just gonna fetch basic forest here while I still have the ability to do so. There are worse things that could be happening to us, so. Gruel Turf's a great draw. I think I'm gonna plus on the Shadow Spear to unequip it so that the Tarmogoyf doesn't have trample. I just think it makes their attacks a lot more awkward next turn. And if the Karn, you know, if they're able to get Delirium and Unholy Heat the Karn, then that's one less Unholy Heat for... Yeah, see, like, this is fine. Now the Karn has done a good job of making Azusa eat a Doomblade. And the Karn even lives, so that... Oh no, Karn doesn't live. Don't tell me you got Thoughtseize. Okay, Renin 6. No Thoughtseize. Karn's a good draw. It's a backup if something unfortunate happens to the Titan. So we're gonna haste here. We're gonna kill the Renin 6. We're gonna pick up the Suva. We're gonna Bajuka Bog and a blue source, probably Simic Growth Chamber. And since Vesuva's in hand, there's no reason to leave Bajuka Bog in play, so I'll put it in hand. And putting Planeswalker in the yard doesn't grow the Goyf right now. Oh, could grow the Channeler, though, if they're able to find Delirium. Okay, no Delirium. Empty-handed. No Delirium empty-handed is good for us. I think that should be enough. I think they just get Luris in their hand, and we're just gonna get second Titan or Dryad, either one. I guess I'm supposed to block Ragavan? They have no cards in hand. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can get Titan and haste it and double strike one. Cool. Well, there is round one. I will see everyone back for round two.